What's going on YouTube? My name is Riley, and today I'm going to show you how to launch WordPress on Google Cloud using a compute engine virtual machine. Sounds complicated. It's not at all. It's actually really simple. The hardest thing you need to do is have a Google account. So if you have a Google account, you're halfway there. So a little bit about me. My name is Riley, and for the last year and a half, I've been studying digital marketing and digital technology in all shapes and forms. I'm a certified messenger marketing agency by ManyChat. I'm a Facebook marketing consultant, and I really spend most of my time building stuff and figuring out how to use technology to get people to do stuff. And one of those ways is by hosting WordPress websites and driving traffic to those. So in my endeavors, I figured out that hosting WordPress on GoDaddy was not a good idea, and I wanted to own my own stuff. I didn't want to pay a hosting provider or whatever. So I figured out that you could do this with a couple different cloud services, but mostly I was interested in Google Cloud just because I'm a fanboy of Google, and so I've learned how to build on here, and now essentially I'm going to show you how to do it as well. So with that, we're going to jump into the video. If you're watching this, well, you're not watching this live. So if you're watching this and you want to follow along, click the link below, and this will bring up my blog post, which gives you a step-by-step. I think there's 12 or 13 steps on there on how to exactly do this if you don't have time to watch the video. And that website is rds.marketing, and then there's a long slug. So just click on the link below. And if someone could just comment that URL in the chat, that'd be great as well. And so with that, we're going to hop right into my desktop, and we're going to get started. So actually, you know what? Let me share something else. Stop share. Yeah, we're back. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I can do the split. So actually, I think I linked this. Did I link it? No, I didn't. I'm going to link this real quick. Edit posts. Sign up for Google Cloud. So I'm going to make this a hyperlink so that you don't have to worry, hey, what's the website for Google Cloud? https cloud.google.com. No, it's funny. This isn't anything special, and I'm nervous. It's kind of weird, man. So I'm going to actually post this video on here too. So I linked to that, and now we're just I'm going to work off this, show you it's a working version. Oh, open a new tab, new window. So now we're going to flip over here. I'm actually going to flip this around just because I like it that way. And so we have Google Cloud open. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you sign up. And actually, for most people, I believe you'll be eligible, as of March 15th, 2019. If you sign up for Google Cloud just for an account, Google will give you $300 in free credit. So these WordPress instances only cost about $15 a month for what most people need. And so that gives you about, I'm not sure, I'm not a good math guy. I think that gives you a year and a half of hosting. So if somebody can correct my math in the comment section below, that'd be great. But I'm pretty sure it's a year and a half of hosting. If not, then, you can call me a liar, and that's okay. So with that, let's get started. I just need to switch over. Okay, well, I'm in my RDS marketing account, and we're going to go to the console. And also, if you don't think that my presentation of this is good enough, Google also has a training, a little e-learning course. It's available at quicklabs.com, and I'll actually post this in the comments or in the blog too. So For more help with Google Cloud from Google, check out Quick Labs. For about $50 a month, you can have access to Google Cloud training. So this gives you access to training, and then it also gives you access to the cloud platform. So you don't need to do this on your own thing. And what they do is, when you start a training, I didn't put this link in. I'll hyperlink it right here. So when you start a training, they give you like a student account, and you can't keep anything on there, but you don't get charged for the stuff that you're playing with. So yeah, let's hop into this. So step 1, sign up for Google Cloud. We have that checked off. Step 2 is make a new project. Just right here, new project, and then you label it. Hopefully you can figure that out, because I don't want to make any. Actually, I can't make any more new projects. They're limited. So what we're going to do is, it should bring you right here to the cloud platform dashboard. And you probably won't have much stuff showing up, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. The first thing I want to show you, which I need to edit in here. Let me just edit this. So step right here. We're gonna set up DNS. We're gonna set up our DNS real quick. So I'm gonna go back in and fix that later. I don't want to do that while we're live. Right here, where is it? Network services, and then cloud DNS. So what this is doing is we're changing our name server to Google Cloud. It's not a requirement. You don't have to, but I do it just so I have it all in-house. So what you do is you create a zone. You just label your zone. You put in your DNS name, and then make sure you put this on transfers, so that what this is doing, it's saying that it's putting your DNS in transfer status. And so it'll essentially just speed up the caching, because it's letting the internet know, hey, this guy's switching. So what it's going to do is it's going to give you some name server addresses right here: nscloud c1googledomains.com. If you can see this right here. And what you do is you just go to your hosting provider, change the name server, enter those in, and wait about an hour, and then you can change your DNS and stuff like that. But you don't have to do that. That's just something that I wanted to show you. Okay, so now we're going to go to Marketplace. What is this? Step 3. And then right here, we're going to search WordPress. Okay. So I just want to show you real quick. There's a bunch of different WordPresses that come up. Okay. So I've tried most of them. Right now, what I can tell you is that WordPress multi-site will probably work the best for most of you. Some of you guys might be interested in WordPress multi-site, WordPress multi-site, or WordPress multi-site certified by Bitnami. I'll be honest with you, I think you should kind of stay away from the Bitnami stuff. It's, from my experience building on here, it tends to crash a lot. It seems that the click to deploy ones are a little bit more stable. They have a lot less restrictions on them, and they're a little bit faster, in my opinion, as well. So what I suggest is that you use the WordPress click to deploy. Just make sure we find it right here. I'm pretty sure it's right here. Yeah, so this says estimated cost is about $25 a month. That's with a standard size virtual machine. I recommend that you start with small, and you can actually make this go even smaller down to micro. But that's not until after you deployed originally. So name it. whatever you want. You know, if your organization has a naming structure, then definitely follow that. But you know, this is me, and I don't have an organization, so we're just gonna call this tutorial. And so, what they say this, what Google suggests when you're selecting the zones is select the zone closest to wherever you're going to be like displaying the information. So for most of us, that's somewhere in the U.S. It really doesn't matter after that. If you're installing multiple servers, then you want those instances to be across different zones. But for our purposes, we're just going to be installing one, and it's actually going to be shared. So make sure you type in an email address that's working. Select what type of disk. So the different. I'm not really sure the difference between SSD and standard. Um, my understanding is that SSD is a little bit faster and better performing. So I always tend to select SSD just in general because there's no difference in the charge. Wait, actually, there might be. Yeah, there's about $1 difference in the charge. Excuse me. So this was what makes the cost for like $15 a month. I'm pretty sure an SSD is like an actual hard disk instead of a virtual one. So make sure you select to allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic and enable stack driver logging and monitoring. So what this does is it takes just essentially like error logs of the virtual machine from externally, so that like if it crashes, you can still go through and check what went wrong with it. So that's pretty much it. So now we're just going to click deploy. And it takes a couple minutes to actually get ready. So we're just going to pause the recording until we get this up. All right, we're back. So, you know, it's only been a couple minutes and already we're all set. So right here is the IP address for our instance, 355.227.18.23. What we're going to do is we are going to, well, I'm going to show you. Actually, here. If you changed it to, if you updated your DNS to Google Cloud, make sure you make an A record of this IP address. And if you're going to do a multi-site, make sure you make a wildcard A record as well. So I'm just going to put an A record right here just to show you. So Internet Protocol version 4. This is cool because Google Cloud App Engine actually uses IPv6. So I just think that's interesting because I know a lot of people aren't using that. So that's how you enter your A record right there. If you're using GoDaddy, it's pretty much the same thing. And then, so what we're going to do is take a record of, so if you're seeing WordPress admin user, it's our email, and then we're going to take a record of this password right here. And you can either access it through this blue button right here or through this link, doesn't matter. Email, oh, that's not it. Password, remember me. And there we go, we're in. So, you know, you can just install your theme however you want. One of the things I recommend you do is update your site. So we're going to say, call this get messengermarketing.com. And save changes. Now this is going to kick you out most likely. Sometimes it'll redirect you if it transferred through the internet. Most of the times it won't. It'll just kick you out. And so what we have to do is go to getmessengermarketing.com/admin. What the hell? I have to PHP my admin into this one, boys. So it's a good thing we installed phpMyAdmin, right? So what we're going to do /phpMyAdmin, we're going to go into the back end and update our DNS. So we copy, actually I'm going to copy this password so we have root access. So MySQL root user. How you get to phpMyAdmin, make sure if you click the checkbox to install it when you deployed it, you can either click this link right here, or you just put phpMyAdmin at the end of your WordPress domain. So I'm just going to type in this root, log in, save it, and click on WordPress, go to WP options. If we see right here, get messenger marketing, we're just gonna take a copy of this DNS back here. So let's see. Get messenger marketing. And then I'm going to try and make this URL www and see where it gets us. Also, Get Messenger Marketing is one of my, obviously one of my websites. If you're interested in learning, so yeah, this isn't working. Okay, so I'm just going to change this back. So what happened is, if you know, I'm looking kind of dumb here, but what happened is the DNS is still on some old cache because I'm doing this live. So typically it takes like 12 to 24 hours. So normally what you do is you set up your WordPress site and, you know, then you literally just change your DNS and like come back the next day. Personally, I hate waiting. So what I do is like, this is why I host it on Google Cloud myself. So what I do is I use Google Cloud's DNS to essentially speed up the process. So this will be ready in like an hour, you know, 2 hours, but it still takes a little bit of time to propagate through the system. Mostly if you had it on some other site. So like if you were already using that domain name and you're trying to pull it away from something, what happens is like, you know, most of the servers that you're pulling the information from are feeding you a cached page from like whenever the last time that page was updated. So when you're searching that, when you're typing it in, it's still loading that old page. And so, you know, when you're trying to access it, the WordPress backend, like it's not connecting. So, you know, if I would have left this at getmessengermarketing.com instead of changing it back to the IP address and, you know, came back in like 6 hours or, you know, just went to sleep and came back in the morning, it would have been up and ready to go. So, you know, don't be afraid to change your domain name. Typically what I do is, let me just show you something real quick, a workaround. So for those of you who aren't comfortable with, you know, changing it and having your site look like it's disappearing and all that stuff, you can come in here under general and just update your site address. So now this may or may not work. Yeah, it's not going to work. But it might work if I go incognito. No, yeah, it's still loading an old page. So what this does is it changes your front facing. So if you click visit site, it's going to do get messenger marketing, but the back end is still through your IP address. And this way, like you can still edit through your IP and, you know, log in that way. And eventually when this propagates and starts showing through the front end, then you can change the back end IP address if you want to keep updating in the meantime. What I recommend, I know it's hard, but what I recommend is just to let it go and like just come back the next day. I don't do that at all, but I do recommend that because you'll start doing some things that I do, which is like, oh, it didn't work, let me do it again. Didn't work, let me do it again. Didn't work, let me change it back. Let me change it back. Like, and then you end up like confusing the servers because you just sent like the same thing back and forth 4 different times. Like you're updating the record 4 different times, and so they don't know which one is right and all this stuff. So you end up getting like data from like 5 minutes ago, and then it's crisscross and it's all messed up. So one of the things about this is like, be patient. And try to only do things once. Yeah. If you rush through it, you kind of end up having to do it again and again and again. And building on, especially on Google Cloud, is like really finicky. There's some fail safes that you can install, but once you there's a process to get to those fail safes. In the next coming videos, I'll show you how to set like automatic backups and stuff like that, so you don't actually lose your instance. But for now, just be careful. Don't try to make any changes to the server itself. Just stay on the WordPress front end and you should be okay. The cool thing about this is it's like super fast. So if you're trying to install any plugins or make any updates or, whatever, like your website's going to be like right there. Unless you're installing like a lot of stuff on it, then it's going to, not, but depending on, how much storage you give yourself. So anyways, there's a lot to learn. I'm going to be making more videos like this. This is part of my WordPress series on Google Cloud. I'm going to show you guys next how to deploy WordPress on Google App Engine. And then we're going to be going a little bit deeper into WordPress on Google Compute Engine, the difference between WordPress on Google App Engine, WordPress on Google Compute, WordPress on Kubernetes. Was it Kubernetes? I don't know. I'm not a networking guy. I don't have a degree or anything like that. I barely graduated high school. Failed out of college like 5 times. 4 times? I got kicked out of college once. I don't know if that counts as failing. But I'm an Army veteran, so it's not like I'm an idiot, but I'm pretty dumb. So my point is like you can learn this too, right? So like use this tutorial, go on Google Cloud, use the $300 credit. Play around with this. Sign up for Quick Labs if you have the money. It's definitely worth it. If you end up being able to get the certifications, you can get a job as a cloud engineer for about $300,000 a year. I'm working on getting one myself, but I'm not there yet. I just got my Facebook marketing consultant certification, so I still need to, kind of hammer that out a little bit. But I'm going to be continuing to make these videos every day, and I hope to see you more. And I'm going to be posting the link to my Facebook Messenger down below. And it'll actually be specific to this video. So you do go ahead and click the link to that and subscribe to my Facebook Messenger list. That way, every time I go live on YouTube or live on Facebook, you'll get a notification whenever I post a video. And you can actually talk to me directly one-on-one back and forth right there too. It's pretty cool. So head there, click on that, subscribe. And once again, like if you want some in-depth, actual tutorial, I was going to say sign up for Quick Labs, but no, click the link and check out my website first. If that's not good enough, then head on over to Quick Labs. GitHub has a lot of good stuff too. I'll post a link to GitHub in there as well. So thank you so much for watching. That's been my video, and I hope to see you next time.